Hi, this is Tom Kane, the voice of Jedi Master Yoda. And this is Inside the Force. Listen, you will. Foreseen it I have, yes.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
And welcome back, everyone. Dave Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hey, everybody. Oh, that was quite an intro.
Yeah.
That was good.
Got to change it up a little bit.
Cracked up another new Diet Coke. You're ready to go.
Oh, I'm so hyped. It's Star Wars, man.
Yes.
And we have to because there's really not that much to mention today.
Right.
So we got kind of a little special episodes planned for you guys. It's we are Inside the Force. I didn't even mention that yet.
You don't even know what you're listening to.
But you obviously know who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you guys checking us out. We're at Inside the Force on Twitter. InsideTheForce.com. You can check us out there and subscribe any way possible there. iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, or you can just sit there and on the website and listen right there to all 89 episodes. So
if you've been snowed in this whole week,
I know
half the country,
man,
plenty of time to listen to.
Yeah,
our show.
Has it been half the country? Oh, I feel like it's just us.
Us and a lot of New England, it seems like.
Oh,
like
really?
Boston,
well, they always get killed.
Yeah, but like this past couple weeks, Boston and that area has been just like literally snowmageddon up there.
Wow.
They have been swamped with snow.
Well, we got about a foot.
Yeah, they laugh at that.
Yeah, I know.
Right now.
Yeah, that's like a typical Tuesday.
Yeah.
We a little rough this week as far as work-wise. Casey's a teacher, so he's been off all week.
Hey! Yeah.
I've had to shovel driveways and get to work, but you know, hey, we're here talking about Star Wars. So, a little light on the, not a little, I mean, not really any news this past week.
Right.
No new episodes of Rebels. No issues of comics coming out.
Mm-hmm.
There is a preview out there, if you haven't seen it, of Princess Leia #1 that's coming in a couple weeks. You can check that out. That, again, is going to be coinciding with Star Wars that's out and Darth Vader that's out. So that's going to be the third Marvel comic now that's part of the continuity. That's coming. Star Wars Rebels next week. Rebel. What'd you say? Rebel Resolve.
Rebel Resolve.
So right now on Disney XD and the Disney XD app, you can actually watch that if you have the capabilities. If not, it'll air next Monday, the 23rd. Yes, the 23rd.
Yes, Mondays, yeah.
On Disney XD, the Rebel Resolve, and that's the beginning of the two-part finale. The finale will be the following week, which is March 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah. That will be the finale of Season 1. Star Wars Rebels.
Awesome.
Hope you guys are caught up. Just to reiterate, if you didn't hear us last week, the last episode, Call to Action, was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I watched it again the other day.
Yeah, it's my favorite so far.
Man, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets you right from the beginning with the whole Imperial March and Tarkin arriving.
Like, again, it felt like a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
More so than anything else, like just the way it was shot and lit. And I even watched the Rebels Recon of that.
Yeah, I did too.
And they talk about how they lit that scene. They try to match it to the movies.
That's right.
They did the same exact lighting, and how they've got it's really cool just to watch it and learn about the behind the scenes technology aspect of it. Because you think it's like a cartoon, and we say all the time how it's shot. Like, it really is shot.
Yeah,
you reference it the same way as you would a movie. Like, they build these big worlds in the computer, with these real elements that have the same laws that our world has, like lighting aspects. Right. So they say we turned off these lights in this one scene to give it more of to bring out these certain colors or whatever. So, and they're moving the virtual camera, and it's really cool how they do it. And it's amazing.
It is literally as if you were shooting a live action movie. except you just have to build the characters, but the sets, the lights, like you said, the camera angles, I mean, it's all there. It's pretty phenomenal because, I mean, it's weird because just in real life, like if you move a light a certain way and you move the camera, you're going to get a lens flare.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens digitally just as well as realistically. So pretty awesome. If you haven't checked those out, those Rebel Recons that Casey mentioned are on youtube.com/Star Wars. Every episode has a Rebels Recon. You can kind of get behind the scenes. Hosted by one of their social media girls, Andy. And then there's always a question to Pablo.
Yeah.
That has Pablo Hidalgo about some form of
just some Star Wars thing. Honestly.
Continuity. Stars from the story group. So definitely keep checking that out. Okay, so what we're going to talk about this episode is just kind of expand on the one big piece of news that we got this past week coming from a Star Wars Celebration. And I'll let Casey kind of mention that. But then what we're going to do is kind of do what something we've talked about Celebration here, but we really want to kind of dive into what Star Wars Celebration is. If, for those of you who haven't been there, or maybe you're on the fence about going, listen to this episode and you'll go.
Yeah.
So, what's the big news?
Well,
we kind of figured this was going to happen.
Yeah.
But
so Star Wars Celebration, if you're not familiar, it's like any other convention kind of, but Star Wars. They always have a kind of an opening ceremony. So this Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim this April, the opening ceremony is going to be basically not necessarily hosted, but you're welcomed by J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy. They are opening the whole convention basically with just a big special event. They are kicking it off, as you can say.
Mind blown.
Yes, the director and the executive producer and president of Lucasfilm, these two mega people will be at Star Wars Celebration. Like, this is something like this, besides George Lucas being there, you've had no other big powerhouse like this before.
Right.
Like, Lucas was executive producer and director of a lot of them, but you never had Lawrence Kasdan never went there. Did Rick McCallum ever come? Like, I don't know if any other huge
I've never seen him there. Oh, I saw Rick McCallum at Celebration 3 just because that was before Episode 3 came out.
Okay.
But he hasn't been there since.
So yeah, very rarely do you get huge people like these coming to.
I mean, and then you're right. In the last Celebration we went to was the first time Mark Hamill showed up, Carrie Fisher, Ian McDermott.
Yes, that was huge.
Yeah, I mean, those were the big names they started, and that's when you really started. Which this was Celebration 6. They got rid of the numericals. It's just Celebration Anaheim now, but technically this would be Celebration 7.
Yeah.
But Celebration 6, I remember feeling finally like, okay, and I want to say, was it Celebration 5 or it might have been 6, but one of the two were the first time it was actually a Lucasfilm event.
Oh, that's right.
You remember? Because before it was really this other group.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Celebration 5.
I think it was 5.
The first 4, now they were brought on, now, the people that don't really know this at all, but Celebration 1, which was in 1999, was created to just, well, I take that back. I think there was a celebration. No, that was a separate celebration.
I can look it up while you talk.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but there may have been one celebration before that, but I don't think so, because I think Celebration 1 was the first one, because I think it was in Denver, and it was to celebrate the coming of the release of Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah. It says Celebration 1 was the one in 99.
And that was the first one?
For Phantom Menace, yeah.
Right. So they started out being just little celebration, events to come together to celebrate the release of a new movie, because they're not every year.
Yeah.
So Celebration 2 was in 2002, and that took place in Indianapolis, I think.
Oh, second one? Yeah.
The second one, I think, was in Indianapolis.
The third one was in L.A. No, fourth was in L.A.
I think they went back to back. 2 and 3 in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And then they moved to LA in the fourth one.
Yeah.
But the second one came out before episode 2. Celebration 3, which was the first one I went to, was in Indianapolis right before episode 3. And there were and I remember going to Celebration 3 and people talking about how they went the previous one.
Yeah.
It's gotten bigger, this year, and then they had a digital. It was the first time they actually had a digital projector. And I saw scenes from episode 3 on this thing, and I was like blown in my mind.
Yeah,
and that's I said Rick McCallum. That he was there. He did a big Q&A when I was there. And the thing about it is that when I went to Celebration 3, I wasn't. We went up there because we shot the Unknown Discovery.
Right.
We did our first Star Wars fan film. Right before then, because I remember thinking I wanted to do something because, man, this might be at the time I was like, this is the last movie we're going to get. I want to be a part of this Star Wars fan film stuff, so let's make one. We'll take it up there and just hand out DVDs, which is what we did. We made 300 DVDs of our fan film, took it up there, full, you've seen the DVD. It's a full thing with a featurette, trailers, commentaries. We go up there, we pass out, literally, they're gone in like seconds.
Yeah.
We camped out in one of the hallways, and I don't think we were allowed to do that technically.
Yeah.
But Indianapolis, I don't know if you've ever been to Indianapolis Convention Center.
Yeah.
It is massive. And we just started passing them out. In our cover, if you remember the cover, we modeled it after episode.
So they might have thought,
probably.
Hey, look at this.
But hey, people got on our website, crashed our websites. It was crazy. But anyway. So that was my first experience. And we only went up for the day. Luckily, Indianapolis is driving distance from us. So me and Dave Silverno, the executive producer, we kind of went up just for the day. But we're like, hey, we're here. Let's check stuff out. Because we went on an early Saturday morning. And I saw on the map that, hey, Rick McCallum's going to have this Q&A. And that's where they showed the episode 3 footage. It wasn't advertised. Like they said, hey, I got something from... We're like, whoa! Because, again, this was in April. Yeah. A month before the movie came out. Right. So the trailer, people have seen trailers and everything for it yet already, but they'd never seen that. What we saw was clips from the opening battle, the Coruscant battle. Yeah. Oh my gosh! So that was my first experience, and that was it. We did that, and we kind of walked around the convention, the vendor floor. Mm-hmm. That's it. We came home that night. So, and then and what I'm doing, I guess I'll kind of just breeze through my experience first, and then we'll talk a little bit more in depth about it. But then Celebration 4 came, obviously. There was no movies. Mm-hmm. They did it in the 30th anniversary of episode 4.
That's right.
So Celebration 4 for episode 4.
Yeah.
So that was 2007. So at that point, they'd have been every 3 years. Mm-hmm. And then this one jumped just 2 years because it was 2005 was episode 3. Right. 2007. And then they moved it to Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Convention Center. So not Anaheim, actually L.A.
Yeah.
So we went out there because we had done our second. Yeah. We did Rise of the Troopers, which is our prequel. And we did the same thing, kind of packaged those up. And I had to shipped 400 DVDs out there because I don't know how we could take them on the plane. Yeah. Got them there. We stayed at a friend's house. Now, again, we only went to pass DVDs out. But I remember when we went there, it was a Saturday morning again. Mm-hmm. Unlike Indianapolis, where we just walked on in, there was a line down the street. And I was freaking out because I was like, it's going to take us 3 hours to get in here. Yeah. Luckily, there was someone walking down the aisle taking cash for tickets. So if you were paying cash, you can go right up to him, get a ticket, and walk in. So luckily, we all had cash, bought our ticket, and walked right in. Anyway, but we passed out stuff there, and we just kind of walked around and just looked around. We didn't do any panels, any Q&As.
You did a video journal. Chad did a video journal of this, right?
Chad did a video journal, correct, yeah. You can watch that at riseofthetroopers.com. Yeah. So that's a big thing of what we did there. We kind of just... So up until then, to be honest, I had not really experienced just the real celebration, like the celebration experience. My thing was, okay, there's Q&A, there's event, and I knew I knew you had to wait in line for a lot of that stuff, so I really wasn't willing to do that.
Yeah.
But the vendor floor is incredible. You can get all kinds of shirts and toys and check out stuff and see people walking by, costumes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So come Celebration 5, again, celebrating a 30th anniversary. So that was in 2010. I want to say it was 2010.
Yeah.
And luckily, I got you to go for the first time. So you went, you brought your buddy Adam.
Yeah.
And then my buddy Charles went. So it wasn't the normal group. You know, Chad had went with us to L.A. Rainey was with us in L.A. But this time it was me, you, Adam, and Charles. We flew down there. Right? Yeah, we flew down that time. Yeah. So this was in Orlando. And that's what I'm saying. Now this was the first time I think it was a sanctioned Lucas event.
I'm trying to
Lucasfilm event.
Here. I think that's right.
Because the other ones were just kind of just done by this group and
Reed Exhibitions.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Did one, and well, it's been done by several people. But
okay.
5 was done by Reed Exhibitions and Lucasfilm.
Yeah, so Lucasfilm was Celebration 5, so they moved it to Orlando. Orlando Convention Center. If everybody's been there, that's awesome. It's a great
Orlando.
Oh, Orlando, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why it's not there every year. Although Anaheim, I'm sure is going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So anyway, Casey works it out. We get down there, and we get a hotel kind of in walking distance. And I'm telling you, this is where we'll start talking about the experience, because this was the first time really that we went as, we did bring some DVDs.
Right.
I always bring something to pass out.
We just spent about a third of the day, whatever.
Yeah, just kind of
a little bit of time,
just walking around, passing out some stuff. But anyway, we really spent the time to get to just experience. And so let's talk about the experience. So you going now as this first time going to Celebration 5, what were your expectations?
Well, I've been waiting to go to a convention, like either it was Comic-Con or something like this forever. So I was just anticipating. There were no movies coming out. We were watching the Clone Wars at the time.
Yes.
And I think the 3D movies were being made or something like that, maybe around this time.
I think it got announced there.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was just expecting just to see celebrities, see people that I've only seen on TV on Star Wars for my whole life, finally getting to see them in real life. I was expecting to see, because the whole thing was we were going to camp out for see George Lucas.
That's right.
So I was like, I'm going to finally see my own eyeballs, George Lucas. I was just expecting huge, geek moments and some exclusive sneak peeks of maybe a few things here and there, but I wasn't expecting anything ground shattering. But I've always loved Orlando. I go to Disney World. I've been to Disney World a bunch, so I love Orlando. I was just totally jazzed about the whole and experience and environment, just meeting people and just meeting the celebrities and all that kind of stuff. I was just really looking forward to that.
Again, they, and I want to back up because they've after Celebration 4, they actually took this thing internationally as well.
Oh, that's right.
So they've done a Celebration Europe, which was in 2006, which was actually the same year as Celebration 4.
Yeah.
No, right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Because Celebration 4 was in May.
Well, they announced in 2006. Right. It was in 2007.
Right. Yeah. So,
but actually it was the same year. So Celebration Europe was 2007. Sorry. And Celebration Japan, which was in 2008, July 2008.
Yeah.
And then we went to Celebration 5, which was in summer of 2010.
Right.
So, the big thing about Celebration... what did I say?
Celebration 5.
Celebration 5, yeah. The big thing about Celebration 5 was the fact that it was the first time Lucas showed up at one of these things.
And Jon Stewart.
Stewart has a big Q&A with him.
Yeah, because he's a huge fan.
And we had to camp out the night before. We got in line. We were probably within the first 100 people there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because we got that T-shirt, the exclusive T-shirt.
Yeah.
They only had maybe 100 or 2 of those. So there wasn't any big names. Now, of course, you had
Mark Hamill was there. He was there for that one.
He was?
Yeah, because that was me and Adam. We have that picture.
Oh, that's right. Yes, he was there.
I think
So that was his first
Carrie
one.
Fisher was there too.
That's right. Carrie
Yeah.
Fisher. That's right. They were there. But I don't think they were.
There's no. Oh,
Was there a panel? I don't think they
remember a
were.
panel.
Maybe not. I don't
didn't
know.
go to a panel if there was.
You're right.
It might have just
But
been
you're right. We did get autographs with them and pictures and stuff like that. But the big thing was the Lucas thing.
Yeah.
And the big announcement he had was that was when we announced the Blu-rays were
right.
coming.
Yeah.
And we saw the construction of the lightsaber.
Yeah, some never before
Deleted
seen
scene.
scenes. Yeah. And they had some cool Clone Wars stuff too. Dave Filoni.
Absolutely.
Q&As.
Now, Detours was Celebration
That was
6.
six. That was
okay. So
There was 6.
getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
So Celebration 5. Yeah, we go down there. I mean, have just a fantastic time.
Yeah.
But okay. So what would you say though, Case, as a first time goer there? Like, what was your biggest? Not just aside from the Lucas thing. Like, what is the biggest? How do I say? Like, what was the most
Like the highlight of it?
interesting thing that you saw, like you experienced, really, of the convention, the whole thing?
I mean, it's hard to not say just the general environment. That's a huge answer, generic answer, but that's not my final answer. But like just walking around with my buddy Adam, who we've been both of us long time growing up together, Star Wars fans, kind of thing, and I knew he was just as excited about it as I was. If not maybe a little, I don't know. He's a huge Star Wars fan. He actually saw the special edition in theaters, so he's had a lot more history even than me in some aspects of it. But just walking around, just seeing everything, like seeing the huge AT-ATs, the huge Death Star that they've built up and all this stuff was really cool. But I think besides George Lucas, I think that some of the cool things that both of us experienced was going to some of the other panels, like a writer's workshop of sorts of some of the EU authors. We went to a couple, one of Troy Denning, who wrote several EU books, and just hearing him talk about writing Star Wars and like how to write Star Wars and kind of thing, just listening to him was awesome. I mean, actually very, very insightful. The other one was Aaron Alston, who has now passed. He passed a year or so ago. Another great EU author. We watched him doing the same thing, like talking about how he writes Star Wars, about just his writing, how he writes, and giving us tidbits on writing, that kind of thing. I mean, it was just awesome just to hear these guys talk and how their experience with Star Wars. I mean, that was, for me and him, that was our big highlight besides George Lucas. And I guess also besides that, like I honestly can't forget too either. While we were camping out, waking up at 4 a.m. after my short 20-minute nap, seeing you and Charles and some other guys crowding around, James Arnold Taylor, Tom Kane, and was there another? Was
I think D. Bradley Baker.
Bradley Baker's there, just chatting it up like nothing. I think did they bring you over pizzas?
They brought some pizzas down for people. Yeah. And they wanted to just kind of sign autographs and talk, and
that was awesome.
So awesome.
Yeah.
We even got James Arnold Taylor to call our buddy and leave a message.
That's right, as
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So really great guys. We ended up talking to Tom on the show, and he's become a good friend. They saw us from the hotel. There's people camping out, and it was like, hey, let's go check these guys out.
That was so cool.
That was so cool.
You and Charles I think you were in the Hoth bar up on the second floor, and Adam and I were downstairs just waiting for them, because I think we had a time. I feel like we had a certain time that we were allowed to line up. We heard amongst the floor. So there was like nobody in the convention center hardly. Adam and I are just sitting around, and he goes up to the restroom. And I'm like watching his awesome Indiana Jones statue that he has, and I'm just like sitting waiting. Then suddenly I see some people like kind of speed walking and jogging outside, running down the thing, and I'm like waiting for Adam to come out of the bathroom. Like, holy crap, they're lining up. I know they're lining up, and like his bag's here. Like, what do I do? So I just grabbed his bag and I ran outside and lined up for the George Lucas bit, and like everybody's starting to line up, and I feel like I'm actually kind of far back at this point. Like, they just started lining up, and I'm probably a couple hundred back, I feel like. I don't know. Then I'm like looking around for Adam. I don't see him. Then suddenly he calls me. He's way ahead of me in line. Somehow he got out of the bathroom before I noticed and already lined up. And like, oh my gosh, man, that's awesome. So he was way far up there. And thanks to him, we were that close thanks to him. So I just ran up there to him. It's like, oh yeah, he was saving the spot for me. Thanks, man.
I know. I hate doing that.
Then you and Charles go, yeah, we were saving the spot for them. Thanks, guys. So we just lined up, and I forgot how it happened, but they the officials made us scrunch up or whatever towards the front because we were a little bit back. Then I think they allowed us to go further up to the doors.
And this was
early
8 o'clock or something.
Yeah, 8:30. Yeah, exactly. And then we just sat down. Like we had known this was going to happen, so I brought some like hotel pillows.
Yeah.
You know, Adam had his Pop-Tarts, and we were just.
I mean, we were out there till they brought us inside. It must have been about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, around that.
And then we waited in there.
Yeah, we made some trips to like McDonald's.
Yes,
to get some stuff, but that we
were there all night,
yeah.
all night, and you know this is Florida, so it was actually really nice
awesome.
outside in August.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that was I'll never forget that. That was a great time. And so, of course, we went back to Celebration 6, which was 2 short years later. So it wasn't the 30th anniversary technically of episode 6, but that was kind of the celebration part of it. So we go there. Again, this is the big announcement there for us was Star Wars Detours. Mm-hmm. Now, people might not know what Star Wars Detours is.
We mention this a lot, but like still no one really knows about it.
I know. And there's hope that it's going to see some light of day here soon.
Yeah, actually.
But Star Wars Detours basically is the from the creators of Robot Chicken, Matt Senrich and Seth Green. They Lucasfilm and George Lucas sanctioned this show, a comedy that was technically canon.
Yes,
for these characters
from their very mouths.
Yes,
he said George said anything he does is canon. Yeah, anything he does.
So they had to somehow make it fit. But anyway, we saw some great footage.
Yeah.
Too bad
Hilarious.
It hasn't been released yet, but it may.
Yeah.
But I doubt it's not going to be canon.
Yeah. But that was actually, asking about highlights, what was the biggest part of that was, again, George Lucas, but in a different way this time.
Yes.
Because he wasn't on the docket to come, at all.
Was not.
We didn't think that he would appear whatsoever. Then we were in what panel? Was that a Clone Wars panel? Yeah, it was a Clone Wars panel. It was Dave Filoni.
It's Dave Filoni previewing the 5th season coming out.
Right. Yeah, he said he was saying his thanks about everything, saying how our number one fan or whatever wouldn't have been possible other than our number one fan. I don't know who we were even thinking. Because I was like, it might have been Sam Witwer. I don't know. Somebody cool come. Because I've seen Sam Witwer at this point somewhere.
Yeah, we saw him in the hallway.
Yeah. So, it's like, maybe Sam Witwer. So, and then I don't even know if he said the name. I can't even remember if he mentioned George Lucas's name or anything. But he says, our number one fan, here he is, or whatever. And he just, in a split second, he comes out of the door, George Lucas. I don't even know what anybody else was doing. I don't know what I was doing. I just stood up and started screaming. And thankfully, everybody else did the exact same thing because it would have looked foolish if it was just me. Because I just stood up, screaming, freaking out. Everybody else was going crazy because George Lucas surprised everybody and appeared.
That was everybody. That was a standing ovation. Yeah. it was awesome.
Yes,
that was so awesome.
Oh my gosh,
because you remember, and then our buddies. John, John and Charles went with us.
And
Corey, Chad, the 6 of us drove down there.
That's right, in the big van.
The van.
Yeah.
If you, I don't know if there's pictures out there of us in stormtrooper helmets and
that's right.
Lightsabers.
Yeah. Yeah, I tweeted a bunch during that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we drove down there. But yeah, Charles and John had left. They didn't want to stand in line for that. Remember?
That's right.
So they went to the convention floor.
Yeah,
and we're in there just going crazy. And I'm texting him George is here.
Oh my gosh! And then he starts making appearances in other panels as well.
He did. He showed up on the main stage a few times. But the thing about that celebration is, I remember we made it a point to see the big things too.
Right.
So there was a lot of line waiting.
Yeah.
We waited in a lot of lines. We saw Ian McDermott.
Gosh, that was awesome.
We saw Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill.
Kevin Smith.
We went to the Kevin Smith thing.
Yeah.
That was a paid event,
Yeah.
just an extra paid event that night, one of the nights. Lucas and that. We waited in line for the season 5 behind the scenes stuff. We didn't make it into the season 5 premiere.
Right.
That line was incredibly long already. I think we were waiting for something else before that. So
yeah.
But
we went to a little party too.
Then we went to that was a great party.
Yeah.
I met Chris Gore there. We hung out with Chris Gore there.
That was weird.
Yeah, Matt Senrich was there.
Yeah, a lot of people were there.
Yeah,
Kenny Baker was there.
Kenny Baker, yeah. I think Tom Kane ended up showing up too.
Yeah.
So it was like some Empire party. It was weird.
Yeah, it was
Chris Gore
party.
Chris Gore ended up putting a slave Leia
It was
costume
under his
on.
clothes, I think. I don't know what it was.
Apparently, he wears that a lot.
It was bizarre. It was a bizarre night.
But no,
Twilight
that Celebration 5 was when we went to Celebration 5. That was a good and great convention event.
Yeah,
but I feel like 6. That's when we experienced like everything.
There's a lot.
We went to that party. We went to the Kevin Smith thing, which was kind of a late night thing.
Yeah.
After it just Celebration 6 was awesome.
Yeah.
So, and then of course, just kind of skipping through it, they did another Celebration Europe 2. They did that last year. No, I'm sorry, 2 years ago, July. Now it's 2015, July 2013.
Yeah.
And then now coming up 2015 here in April, Celebration Anaheim. Now again, I'm anticipating them. I still see. I wonder if they're going to start making these things every year because we're getting a movie every year.
Right.
I don't anticipate them doing that, to be honest, because I feel like I know there's cons every year.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is a difficult thing to put together every year.
Yeah.
There's so much build up. There's so much, and I don't know if I want it every year, to be honest.
That's true. It's
a
lot of money to spend for us wanting to go
exactly
every year.
And I hope they go back to Orlando because
I
hope they alternate. Maybe every couple of years they alternate. But
yeah.
So let's talk. Let's talk about just the convention itself. What you can expect for people that have gone. Obviously, we're probably going to repeat ourselves for you, but for people that don't know what to expect, if you haven't been to a con, like Casey said, it is similar to a con. Actually, I mean, it's very much a convention, but it's purely Star Wars. You have your vendor floor.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is just a bunch of booths where you can buy merchandise. You can
meet the celebrities, some of the celebrities.
Yeah, well, that's kind of
section.
That's kind of a section next to it, but the vendor floor is just really vendors, selling stuff. You can buy toys, you can buy rare toys. You can. I mean, I literally saw the vinyl Jawa there.
Oh yeah,
for $10,000 sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
So there's rare stuff there. There's
some podcasts going on,
brand new stuff, podcasts. Yeah. So, but now actually this year they have the podcast stage.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a separate room. But anyway, the vendor floor, and then yes, you have your autograph section where you have. I mean, it's a whole section dedicated from people from the Star Wars universe. That's where you kind of get your Peter Mayhews, your Jerry Bullocks, people like that, kind of the secondary characters,
right?
Lining up, you can get interviews.
It's still cool.
You buy a ticket, walk right up.
Leia Secura, you see. Jake Lloyd sometimes.
Jake Lloyd's there.
Boba Fett, all those guys.
Daniel Logan, yeah. And then you kind of have your more pricey tickets, which are your Mark Hamill's, Carrie Fisher's. Now Harrison Ford has not been there.
No, yes.
And unfortunately, which I'm really bummed by it, but like no Ewan McGregor's, no Natalie Portman's. To be honest, it's what sucks, but I doubt you'll ever see Hayden Christensen there just because of all the hate. Sam Jackson. But I do want to say the Hayden thing. Like I wish he would go there.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people aren't a fan of his.
Heck, I would love to see him though.
Absolutely. I mean, he's part of the universe. He's Anakin Skywalker. I mean, Darth Vader to the point. I mean, he played Darth Vader in Episode 3. So I don't know. Just like you'll never see Ahmad Best there. You know what I mean? Like, you'll just it's not worth it for them because they get so much grief.
Yeah.
I would hate to.
I'm surprised Jake Lloyd.
I know.
Was there.
I know. The fact that he's a lot older, I think, helps.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll never understand people that hate on actors. You know what I mean? I just never could understand that. But anyway, yeah, the prequel people really haven't been there. I'm trying to think of what prequel people have been there. And his name escapes me, but the guy who played Captain Typho.
Yeah,
he was actually a host on one of the stages.
That's right. Yeah,
you remember?
Yeah,
he was one of the hosts. I think that was Celebration 5. I think that was 5.
So. I don't remember his name either.
Anyway, yeah, because James Arnold Taylor took over in Celebration 6, and he's kind of going to be the main guy at Anaheim. So you can expect a big section where you can get almost any autograph you want. You just got to buy a ticket.
Some are free. Some you can just walk right up.
Absolutely. Tom Kane was a lot of people from the Clone Wars are there.
Yeah.
This time I'm sure Rebels people will be there.
Yeah, they're all there.
They're listed all to go. God, I'd imagine being in Anaheim. I'd imagine if he's available, I imagine Sam Jackson would show up.
Yeah.
That would be huge. So that's one part of this. Then the other part of the convention you have are your breakout rooms, and they could be anything from, like you said, there could be story sessions where there's an author from a book that's doing a seminar. There's all kinds of just behind the scenes look at the design of Star Wars. I mean,
there was one. Did you go to the Leland Cheat? Not Leland Cheat, but there was a continuity one, the Holocron.
I did not go to that.
I went to that one. That was actually pretty cool. That's what they actually talked about. For the first time I heard in Celebration 5, them talking about a Clone Wars timeline and how they don't really have a timeline for it yet,
right?
Or back then. And there was one that Adam and I went to. It was like a Disney merchandising thing for Star Wars because Disney still had some. They had the Star Tours thing going on. So they had a lot of cool things going on. So yeah, really small things. Like the fan films, they have fan film panels.
Fan film panels, yep. And then, so they have all these breakout rooms, but then they have what they call the celebration stage, which is the main stage. I think it seats about 2,500 people, 3,000 people maybe.
Yeah.
At least the one in Orlando did. And this is where this is James Arnold Taylor's stage, basically. He hosts his stuff there. He basically has guests all the time. The big guests get interviewed by him there. Ian McDermott was there, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Anthony Daniels.
Yeah.
So you have all these guys that get interviewed on there, and then sometimes they do big reveals there and whatnot. So, and that's all part of your pass. That's all part of the 4-day pass you buy or the single-day pass. You just got the catch is you just got to get in line.
Yeah.
There's always a line.
Yeah.
There's a line to a room or there's a line to the stage. And some of you might be freaked out by this, but like the Mark Hamill thing. I mean, how long did we wait in line for that?
I mean, I don't remember. It was a long time.
I think it was about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So not to freak anybody out, but like you just have to be prepared to know what you're willing to give up.
It's like Disney. There's no
Exactly.
fast pass unless you have a VIP thing.
But not. You're still waiting.
You're still waiting.
You're just in the front of the line.
Yeah.
But you're still waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could just show up if you.
They have a little section on. Like I remember some of them have like a separate line, but you're still waiting. You sit in the front of the stage or whatever.
That's right, and those passes go right as soon as the tickets go.
Yeah.
And I think they're like $1,500 or something like that for the Jedi Master Pass or something like that. Crazy. I mean, yeah, but you get front row seating and all the big events.
But
blah blah blah.
You are waiting.
Yes, you are waiting.
It is worth it.
Totally worth it. If you really want to see the stars, you really want to get into that stage, you just have to wait. Now, if you're going for different reasons, if you just want to see the small stuff, walk around the vendor floor, you spend all day doing that.
Because one cool thing was, oh my gosh, for Mark Hamill. Because, Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker, but for me and a lot of other 90s kids, Mark Hamill's also Joker.
That's right.
And during the Mark Hamill panel, Mark Hamill does all kinds of cartoon voices. I mean, And he was going off doing a few things, and then James Arnold Taylor had him do a dialogue from Batman as the Joker, and he did it. It was the coolest thing seeing Mark Hamill live in front of me doing the Joker voice and laugh doing the Joker. Because I even actually when I took the picture with him in Celebration 5, Adam and I was there, and I had to say something to him. I don't know. And Arkham Asylum came out, and I had heard that there was an Arkham Asylum 2 coming out, so I just said I'm excited for Arkham Asylum 2, and he's like, oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm excited too. He started actually saying yeah, we got approved for a second one. He's like, oh wait, you just said that. So yeah, great. Yeah, you know about it. I was like, yeah, great. So then I walked out. But no, that was awesome. Yeah, so it's well worth the wait, guys. You get all kinds of cool scoops.
Yes. Yeah, it's fantastic seeing these guys. And I remember when we went, in Anaheim will probably be the same way. I remember when we went to LA. I mean, there's celebrities walking around enjoying this thing.
Yeah.
I remember in Anaheim or in LA, we ran next, sat down next to this guy, eat lunch. I'm like, God, he looks familiar. He was one of the guys. The movie Dodgeball just coming out before that.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys on Ben Stiller's team.
Oh, okay.
The tall, dark-haired guy. I don't know his name, but we're like, hey, and we looked him up.
Laser one of those.
And he was like, yeah, and we got his car. He had his actor card, and we talked to him. But I mean, celebrities love this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
who did we see? One of the NSYNC guys. Which one did we see?
Joey Fatone.
Just
saw Joey Fatone. Yeah. He was there. Me and Charles took a picture with him in that Wampa Hoth
and you
bar.
saw can I remember his name? Scrubs. Chad's one of Chad's favorite actors. Faison.
David Donald Faison.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was so cool.
I mean they're all over the place. Detours, and of course, then Seth Green and them guys are walking around all the time.
Sam Witwer.
Anaheim's going to be, I think, filled. I mean, it is ridiculous. And this, with the movie coming out, I mean, my Lord, this is going to be. So, I guess the bottom line is, and I think you would agree. Obviously, is if you're a Star Wars fan, you just cannot miss this thing.
Yeah.
If you can only go to one, just get to one. And I know you'll try to go back, but it's a wonderful thing for Star Wars fans. I think in reality, to be honest, I really think it's kept the fire going for a lot of fans. Mm-hmm. If all you had to wait for was the movie, and then occasionally we're reading some EU books, this every couple of years was a chance to hang out with all those people that some of your friends don't. Because everybody's got friends that don't like Star Wars sometimes.
Yeah.
But this is a chance to just meet, and I mean, it's instant connection. I mean, you run into so many people that are either dressed up or just want to talk Star Wars. I mean, even one of the best things too is at night they're playing the movies. They have a theater set up. You can walk right in and start watching this huge ass screen playing the movies.
Yeah.
And they're in this year they're doing 1, 2, and 3 in 3D. Absolutely. So if you want to see some 3Ds, but they run all 6 movies that weekend, and I'm sure they're gonna probably run in Clone Wars, maybe Rebels too. I mean, it's just constant Star Wars.
We just sat and watched them because it's just why not?
We did.
Nice way to spend your night.
Absolutely, and people are still reacting to them, laughing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's awesome. I think they even have popcorn set up you can grab. I mean, it's, and then they have mixers at night. They have stuff. I mean, people are always going out and doing stuff. It really is a true celebration of Star Wars.
That's a good way, that's the perfect way to put it.
Yeah. So what would you say? Just I guess what would you say to a first time goer, someone that's going to go to Anaheim? What's your advice to them?
Advice,
basically.
Besides wear comfy shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Advice is you want to see everything as much as possible, but don't spend so much time in trying to rush in seeing everything necessarily. Just maybe this is an easy answer, I don't know, but just sit and enjoy the environment. If not, spend 30 minutes just walking around, just and taking it all in, because if you are like a diehard Star Wars fan, like most of the people there, this is just an amazing moment for you and for your whole childhood. You don't want to spend the whole time running around doing like, okay, go to this panel. Then like as soon as this is over, gotta run to this panel. Yeah, there's a part of that, but don't forget to just enjoy it and maybe meet some of those people, or just take the time and just soak it all in, because it might be the only time you can experience Star Wars on this level for yourself. I don't know.
I would just say, if you only, I don't know, if you can only go one day, it's still worth it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, probably Saturday is probably the biggest day.
Yeah.
It's the most expensive day. I think this year it's like $75 to do. It's cheaper to do a 4-day pass if you can do it, but it's $70 at 5, I think, for just Saturday, and that's mainly because all the big events and reveals and stuff like that are that day. If you can do more than one, I highly suggest it, obviously. But if you could only do one, maybe do a Saturday, and just kind of like Casey said, I think they release the schedule.
Right.
Make a plan.
Yeah.
Mark down the stuff that you want to check out.
Yeah.
You want to get in line for, and just be prepared to be on the move. You really don't have time. If you want to see stuff, you really don't have time to walk around. Now, if you want to, that's why I suggest going 2 days.
Yeah. One
day, plan on just standing in line and seeing the stuff you want to see, and then maybe the other day, check it all out. Walk around the floors and just take it all in.
It's a lot like Disney, like
absolutely.
Me and Adam, who his family goes to Disney about every year, and I've been with him a lot. That's part of the fun, is scheduling your day for seeing all these amazing things.
Totally.
Oh, to see, like, am I going to see Mark Hamill? Am I going to see Ian McDermott? I don't know. It's hard to choose. Who can choose? So, it is a lot of fun.
It is. And waiting in line for those people, like you said, that's why you have to give up some stuff, because there might be some panels that you want to go see, but you have to get in line for Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
So that's the trade off. Because you see it all the time when we're walking in. Yeah. People are like rushing, trying to get in line. Yeah. You're like, you're never going to get in, man. It's too late.
Yeah.
But because that's what happened. I think we got out of something, and they had already gotten in line for that episode 5 or Clone Wars thing. Yeah, that's why we couldn't make it in. But yeah, so just can't stress enough. If you can get to Anaheim in April, check it out. April 16th to the 19th, Anaheim Convention Center. Go check it out.
I'm gonna try.
We are gonna try.
I'm going to try my best.
All right, so that is the episode. If you got any questions or comments, send it up to us at Inside the Force. And he's Kryptonian1138. I'm D Cottingham 21. We will be back next week. Talk about the next episode of Rebels. And I don't think there's a comics issue coming out, but I can check that out. But first up, of course, trivia. Before we close out here.
Trivia.
Let's see.
Looking around, they don't have a whole. I mean, they're still going to keep confirming guests later on, but
they
don't have that many right now. They have the whole Rebels cast: Abrams, Anthony Daniels, Dave Filoni, Carrie Fisher. Looks like they got James Arnold Taylor who's the host. Dave Collins, who, if you are really into Star Wars, you know who this guy is. He was in Force Unleashed, was one of the things.
He's Proxy.
Kenny Baker's going to be there.
But yeah, he's always
several people.
Yeah, so actually next week, Darth Vader number 2 comes out.
Ooh, great.
So we will be talking about that as well. All right, trivia 2332 in this book of Obsessed with Star Wars, 2332, which is Return of the Jedi. It's one of the last questions, I think.
Ooh.
2332. All right, here we go. 2332. Where were R2-D2 and C-3PO escorted after C-3PO relayed Luke Skywalker's message to Jabba the Hutt?
Okay, so we're in episode 4, right? And this
No,
is
episode 6.
6. Oh, okay.
Jabba. Remember?
Jabba. Okay, sorry.
Where were R2-D2 and C-3PO escorted after
Yeah.
C-3PO relayed Luke Skywalker's
Okay,
message to
gotcha.
Jabba? A biome, a
Bjork's place?
Biomar room,
Yeah.
B, the boiler room, C, the power facility, or D, the monastery complex.
They went to become monks.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Well, I mean, I know where they went, but I don't know that game. The Bomar. I'm just gonna say Bomar room. I guess Bomar room. B,
Biomar.
boiler room. C, power facility. D, monastery complex. Where were they taken? Like I know where they were taken, but what the heck is?
After they relayed Luke's message.
What would you call that?
I'm gonna go with A because I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the boiler room.
I would either say A or C, but I'm gonna have to go A as well.
C is what?
Power facility, but they weren't.
Power
They were like
facility.
getting cleaned up.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
I know.
The Bomar
Yeah,
room.
I'm going A. You going A?
Yeah, let's go A. Is it C?
It's B, the boiler room.
Well, I guess it was a boiler room, but
yes, I don't know.
I don't remember a lot of, I don't know, pipes. Whatever, man.
Whatever.
I still know Star Wars. That book can't tell me what I am.
All right, last thing before we get out of here, check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/21network for all kinds of videos that we're doing. Putting some mass videos up there. We're actually going to be putting a Inside the Force video up there. We are going to do kind of just to kind of kick off our video series that we're going to be doing here soon. We're just going to do a simple thing where we're going to just video us talking about the Episode 7 trailer.
The trailer, yes.
Now that we've had a few months to kind of dissect it and hear some things, we still haven't really heard much.
Uh-huh.
But, we'll check that out. We kind of reviewed it, obviously, on this show, but right after. But we'll do some video on it. So, anyway, check that out. And, of course, we'll be back here next week for Casey Cooley.
I have waited a long time for this moment. My little green friend.
Yeah.
I might have done that before. I don't know. But I feel like it was appropriate because I've waited a long time for just everything that's going on this year. Celebration, everything. I've waited a long time for this moment.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for checking us out, guys. Hit us up, InsideTheForce.com, and follow us on Twitter at Inside the Force. He's Casey.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm Dave, and may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.